Hi guys, today we're at the Catskill Outdoorsman and I got a new sight tote. I ordered a B3 Comp Hunter. It's part of the Exact line of sights. Let's see what we got. I already opened this box just to make sure everything was in here, but we got plenty of bubble wrap. Woohoo! Comes in this nice carrying case, and we got a product book. This is all of B3's current products. I will leave this here at the shop. If anybody's interested in ordering anything from B3, stop by the Catskill Outdoorsman. Okay, back to the sight. We have here a B3 Exact sight. This is going to be the Comp Hunter sight. I ordered this directly from B3. I custom ordered it. Let's open it up and see what we got. Okay, when we open it up, everything's in here nice. We have the sight bar. This sight is going to get mounted on my Darton Archery 35 for the MAF, which is Mountain Archery Fest, Mountain Madness Competition. It's coming up here beginning of May. It's going to be in Carbondale, PA. The winner of each leg, so we're shooting the Carbondale leg. They're doing one in Georgia. I think they're doing another one down south and a couple of them out west. Gets invited to an invitational in Colorado and gets a chance to shoot for 10 grand. So they just published their rules and I am building a setup to follow their rules as best as I can. Here's their mounting bracket. We're not going to use this. We're going to use what I already have on my Veracity 35. The scope. This is the part that got custom ordered. I have 3 pins in there. For the Mountain Archery Fest tournament, I'm going to run a different scope. That's going to mimic what I shoot for 3D a little better. We will get to that in a second, but I will probably hunt with this year. I ordered 3 pins. First pin is a 19th thou green pin. Can you see it against my black shirt? Yep. So I have a bigger pin for my first pin, and then my second pin down is a red pin in 10,000s, and then my third pin is a green pin in 10,000s. So this will probably hunt with this year, especially when we go to Arizona. So here we have the instructions, a cool sticker, and rings for the scope to customize the color. Okay, now to the scope. This came from Lancaster. I ordered a scope for the Mountain Archery Fest tournament. Now, this is just like what we shoot for 3D. I read in the rules today for the tournament that you cannot run a sight like that. So that's going to change how I set this up. This is a CBE VTX scope. I ordered the sunshades with it. So sunshades are universal. They go on the front or the back. I like that they have a nice white ring on them. That gives me a definite sight picture. I can line up the rings when I'm shooting. So 2 rings, both exactly the same. I ordered the 41mm scope. These are the 41mm sunshades. And now for the scope itself. Comes with a bunch of extra hardware, some of which we're going to need, and the scope itself. So since we can't run a light, I run green when I can't run a light because green picks up a lot of natural lighting. It has a lens retention ring on it that we're going to take off and store with the extra parts and pieces. Okay, this is extra because we're running 2 sunshades. We don't need this. So how the sunshades work? They're real simple. One screws onto the front and one screws onto the back. Now you won't have as much glare. These aren't the longest sunshades, but they're not the shortest, but I think they're just about right. So there you go. We about doubled the length of the scope. There's the green pin. It's green up pin. We're going to keep this one simple. Now take the B3 scope. We are going to take the windage rod off, and we will order another windage rod later on so I can switch back and forth easier. Unscrew, there's a screw in here. The nice vented scope gives you plenty of access to get to that screw. So here's your windage block. We're going to use the screw that came with the CBE. I need this adapter here because of the windage bar on here. This adapter piece goes right on the end here. That a nice, make sure that's nice and snug. Then this goes together, and let's make sure it's the right way. So you want the little ticks on the windage bar facing away from where the bow is going to be. On the windage bar it does say in and out, so you can see when you go to adjust your windage, you know which way you have to turn it. Take your Allen key, tighten those up nice and snug. Try not to over tighten them or strip them because this is just aluminum. The case it came in is going to be real nice right now. We're going to take and put the extra scope and extra pieces in the carrying case so we don't lose them. Okay, now that we have the scope mounted to the windage rod, we're going to attach scope and windage rod to the sight bar. So this came 2 screws. I'll just back these screws out. Join these 2 pieces. When you loosen these screws, you'll notice one of those holes is longer than the others. That's for your second axis adjustment. Okay, we're gonna get this snug, but not too tight because we have to level the scope to the bow. Okay. Now this is all one piece. So what I did is already put levels on the bow, and now we're gonna level everything. See that bubble is not level, so we will make that level with that level. So how we do that, loosen these back up. Level bubble. Snug that screw, double check. Snug the top screw, double check. That looks a lot better. So what we're gonna do to check, so we're just gonna lower the scope. Make sure the levels are still lining up. Okay, that level is level, and that level is level. Double check it up here. Okay, everything looks level. So since everything looks level, now it's time to sight in, and we'll go over our arrow build. So my arrow for this is going to be a Black Eagle Carnivore, 120 up front, 4 Fletch X3 boning vanes. I really love these vanes, they're nice and stiff. For hunting this year, I might run the bigger X3 vanes. I think these are 1.5s that are smaller, and I'm running a boning pin. For stabilizers for this bow, I'm going to run the Smackdowns from Conquest. This is a 15-inch front bar, and I'm running a 12-inch back bar. We're going to do some paper tuning first, just to make sure we don't have to move anything. And I am running the Infinity, the hinge. I have it set up as a 2-finger from B3 as well. I love this hinge. This thing fits good in my hand. It's solid. There's not very many moving parts, so there's very few things to go wrong. So let's send this through paper and see what it does. As you can see, a couple of these holes aren't the cleanest, but I hit multiple arrows in the same spot. That's a good hole, and that's a good hole. So since we're gonna set this back up for ASA after today, we're gonna leave this as it is. We're gonna shoot at 20 and 40 and get a sight tape. We're just gonna take a look at our group here. First one was a little right, but still caught the X. Good X, high X, little low, good X. I'm gonna call that sighted in at 20 for right now. We can go back and tweak it later. Now we're gonna go to 40 and see what kind of groups we can get. We might range it just to double check. 20 was about 26 yards with the tape that came stock on this. Okay, we're at 40 even. So I'm gonna guess 35. We're gonna give that a shot and see what goes. Now I'm just using the tape that's on there as a reference. Once I figure out what my 40 is, I'll take the tape off here and mark on a piece of paper where my 20 was and where my 40 was, and I'll compare it to the other tapes to figure out what tape I think I need. Okay, we're low, so we need more yardage. Set it at 40. A little low yet. Try 43. That's better. Without a lens, that blue dot gets buried behind that pin. That's a solid center 11. Let's see if we can do it one more time. I got a nice group in the center. Let's go take a look. So here's my group. My pin covers up most of that big 10 circle. This was my first one, my second shot. This was the last three. I really like that group without having a lens. Can't get much better than that. Now we're gonna figure out which sight tape I need. I'm gonna take my pen and mark where my 20 was and where my 40 was. Now I'm going to take some other tapes and compare them to see what tape I need. This is tape number 7. 7's just a little long, so I think we need number 6. Let me find where the tapes were. Here's number 6. Let's line this up and see what we get. Okay, I think we have a winner with number 6. Now what I'm going to do is put this tape on, and then I'll test 20, 30, 40. Because we're inside, we only have 40 right now. That's what I'll test. When the weather becomes nice, we'll go outside and we'll test 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I believe when I read the rules this morning for MAF said the max distance was out to 60. So we definitely want to shoot at 60, maybe even 65, just to make sure this tape is right. But this gives me a good starter. Okay, now that we got the new tape on, we have to adjust the needle indicator. In order to do that with this sunshade, or this scope setup, we got to take this rear sunshade off. So just unscrew that, and we're going to move the needle to where it says 40 because I left the sight itself on 40, so I had a reference when I was done sighting in, or changing tapes, that is. So, okay, that loosens up. Put our needle on 40. Voila, that looks good. Okay, now we just gotta put the rear sunshade back on. Now, if I had left the original scope on, because it's not as long, I would not need to take anything off to adjust that needle. Because I put a different scope on, I have to take the sunshade off because it blocks the screw to adjust your indicator. Now if I had just a loose Allen key, I could use the short side of it to loosen that, but I didn't have one on me right now, so it's just quick and easy, unscrew and rescrew. But yeah, we're gonna run tape number 6 for right now. These tapes go all the way out to 100 yards. I think this bow has enough speed that I could have clearance down to 100. The other thing with this I really like, there's no clicks, so it's nice and smooth and it's quick. So when you're in a tree stand and that deer, you're set for 20 or 25 and deer comes out at 40 or 50, you can just reach up there quick and quietly turn that to whatever yardage you need and shoot your deer. I'm really looking forward to hunting with this and competing with this sight. Thank you B3 for making awesome products. Guys, if you like what you see here, stop by the Catskill Outdoorsman and talk to Ryan or talk to me. We will get you ordered what you need, what you want, build custom scopes for you, sights, hunting sights, target sights, scopes, whatever you need, we can help you build them. Thanks to Ryan at the Catskill Outdoorsman, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.